question back to you. Your job. You're famously drawn to, what's the right word? Destructive men. I read the title too. These men that you've brought down. I'm sure you think yourself superior to them. Superior to sad little maniacs with no power in the world, no form of expression, no impact. Besides their sad little crimes. They are exterminators.
You think the women they killed are bugs? Rats?
You define their very existence. You're the most important thing to happen to them. I am the leader of men, Agent. Any battle, I will be the victor, because that is the world. I am myself, Agent. You are the bug that got away.
These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. This is Cynthia Ortiz. We do the disclaimer, use allegedly, apply the but for Mr. Perry. Being a sad little maniac with nothing to define him but his sad little crimes, can't get a date, can't figure out how to get women to like him. 13 years, he's just a peeping Tom. A monkey, a retarded monkey, can sit around watching TV, pretending, playing with little girl toys, hitting buttons, right? Getting creepy. You're creepy. So you don't have a date. You're not going to ever get a date. You're creepy and you're cruel. That's not how you get women to like you, stupid. So we're all tired of it, Mr. Perry. Everyone's sick and tired of you. We've gotten information nobody else has gotten in your life. What are you trying to prove? What is it you're fucking trying to prove? You're never going to get a date with me. You're creepy. You're weirdo. You're a bizarre bore. You're a hillbilly hick. Nothing. You're backwards. And you're a turnoff. Women don't like peeping Toms. There's a reason it's illegal. There's a reason everybody else doesn't do what you're doing. They can get a date and you can't. So, what is it you're trying to prove? Bothering and bothering and bothering and bothering. You're not going to get a date with me ever. I don't like you. You disgust me. I want what you took from me. I want it back. I want my privacy back. And I want for you to be gone. Everybody does. Everybody's so embarrassed by you, Mr. Perry. So, what are you trying to prove? Second I wake up, it fucks up my whole day again. The second I get up today, fucks up a perfectly good day. I'm not going to stop. You're not? Well, here's the thing. Every time you're told on 50,000 fucking times just that you know of, and only the stuff that pertains to me, not all of it, that's you being stopped. Fabian Puzzle, those guys that got that to me, was that up to you? Did anybody ask you what you think? Nope. No one cares. We're all tired of hearing it. You act like you have no idea what's happening. You're being stopped. What day are they going to bang your door down and you're gone? What day is it going to be? Huh? You're creepy, Charles. You're not going to get a date with me. You're too creepy. You're too fucking creepy. You're a turnoff. You're fat. You're lazy. You're slob. You act like a little kid watching TV pretending like John Hinckley Jr. You're that. And you're not going to be anything else. You can't. You don't have any power. You have nothing to define you but your sad little crimes. Right? So he's a boring accountant. Boring little nobody, pathetic accountant, in a small town hillbilly something. And he can't figure out why, that when he went into the criminal mode, everybody hates his guts. When you start taking things from people, they're not going to like you. They're not going to like you at all. They're going to hate your guts. And your little carrot and stick approach that you've been recorded talking about, we're going to take the carrot and the stick approach with her. Shove it up your ass. You get told on more when you do that to me. You're pissing the wrong people off, Calvin. Are you the one that said that? You've said a lot of things. I know your name. No one else knows that, do they, Calvin? Take it away. Take this away. Take that away. Carrot and the stick. I'm 53. I'm not a child. I'm not 6 years old. Why don't you, you guys all threaten me behind my back. Why don't you do it to my face, coward? Why don't you do it to my face? So I'm the thing that defines you. Nobody would know. You're criminals. You're little criminals. I can live on the wild side. Watch. Boring, bizarre accountant, Charles. But for me talking about it, right? I define who you are. Is that what you're trying to prove? That you're a whack job who can't control himself? You got some sick sex weirdo urges that control you. You can't control it. You're impotent and weak and powerless to control things that you know are disgust to everybody else. Is that what this is about for you? Because you're never going to get a date. You're too creepy. You do everything I hate and nothing I like. I like men who work hard. I like men who are interesting. Men who have something interesting to talk about. And you don't have any of that. So we do the disclaimer, but for Mr. Perry's crime directed at me, we wouldn't do these to document it for court. It's already been in court, sir. You got to get probable cause for investigatory orders. What day is it going to be? They bang your door down and you're gone. Huh? And we're finally free. Finally fucking free. The weirdo who's icking and sliming delusion. Whack job all over us. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. Nobody's asking you what you think. We're sick of hearing it. And I would have never taken you around my family. Ever. You're a dangerous piece of shit. This is from Clarice, CBS Paramount. I guess somebody even said, I wonder if this show was written for her, about her. There's so many similarities. And there are. I can see why somebody would think that.
To remind everyone that Attorney General Martin has come at my invitation to speak about the needs the President's bill attempts to address. To that end, I think she's doing an admirable job. That said, this is the Oversight Committee, and today we're reviewing the DOJ budget. Madam Attorney General, your personal task force within the FBI, can you tell us more about that?
This is an authoritarian state. I don't have a personal task force. I assume you're talking about the Violent Criminal Apprehension Unit.
That's right. VICAP.
The vulnerable of our country disappear and no one remembers their names. Not everyone who has been abducted by a monster is lucky enough to be the daughter of a senator, sir.
Some are saying the VICAP team is just drumming up headlines to help sell your president's crime bill.
You have 3 daughters, Llewellyn. Imagine someone out there field dressing one of them like a deer. Do you really believe that every mother wouldn't give everything to spare their child? That the monsters among us aren't aberrations. They're a reflection of who we are. What we do with them and how we decide to root them out is also a reflection of who we are. I just hope we don't become a society that sits idly by.
We're all sorry about what happened to your daughter. But it might take more than sympathy to make you qualified for your office.
Sympathy and empathy for Americans under our protection seems to be in short supply of late.
Sympathy and empathy is what is getting your ass kicked pretty fucking hard. Muffin Man, right? Who's the Muffin Man, Mr. Perry? Who else has your code words? You guys have your little sick code words that you use when you beat down women and children, ruin their lives, and go, why isn't she like me? I ruined her life. I ruined her career. Why doesn't she like me? You can't get a fucking date, can ya? Fail. You're a big fat turnoff. That's why. You're creepy. You're weirdo. You're cruel. Women don't like that. You know it? They don't like it. You're not going to ever get a date with me, weirdo. You ruined a perfectly good, otherwise wonderful day. Thank you for that. Again, you did it. Again, we all want you gone. You pissed off the wrong people. Again. Right? Do you understand what that means? We think that you have no idea what I'm saying. You're not able to understand what people say. You fucked hard? Are you? It seems like maybe you are. You can't control yourself either, can you? It's pathetic. I don't know what to say to you. You're never going to get a date with me. I want back what you took, not you. It'll never be you. You disgust me. You make my skin crawl. You're embarrassing everybody. And you're being stopped every time you're told on, Muffin Man. Who is the Muffin Man? Who is that? We have information nobody else has. Because what we do with our criminals says who we are as a society. And we don't tolerate peeping toms. And we don't tolerate sex offenders. And we don't tolerate men who abuse women and children to to get a quick thrill. We don't do it. So we don't tolerate cop killers either. Calvin, you need to back off. You back off me, sir. I don't know you. I didn't come here to pick a fight with you. I've never heard, until that you started helping Mr. Perry, never heard of you. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't know who you are. I don't know why you attack me all the time. But if you're going to threaten me, please do it to my face. Be a man and do it to my face, okay? You got a problem. All of you have a problem. It's controlling you. You spend every waking minute trying to make me fail. So I'm controlling every minute of every hour of your day. I am in control. We control your leaks. I have help. There's no fucking way I could do this alone. We are controlling you. Do you not understand that? You spend a lot of time trying to make me fail, and you are just pissing everybody off. All of a sudden, the criminal activity you've done for a very long time is becoming more and more known to law enforcement everywhere. This time, you're not able to find the recordings and buy them away and destroy them, are you? You fucking with the wrong people. Everybody forget. See, here's the thing. We got a shrink and 40 cops and me. Very intelligent. My IQ's pretty fucking high. Very intelligent people that have evaluated and analyzed everything you people do. All of you. And then we figure out what you'll do in any given situation. And then we do what we do. And we have results no one else has gotten. And you idiots are stupid. It's so easy, it's not even fair. So what happens is, you're basing a lot of your decisions on delusion. It's Charles Perry's pretend land, not reality. And let me tell you something. Grown-ass men do not play with dolls and unicorns. You're pathetic. You don't get a date, Perry. You'll never get a date with me. I'm not in love with you. You're a turnoff. You can't figure out how to get women to like you. It's not ruining their life. And then, I'm not giving you hints, bitch. You keep acting like is it this person? Is that a hint? Nope. There's no hints. You had 6 years to get me to slip up in a strip club, and you didn't. I'm very, very, very good at what I do, sir. 6 years is a long time for you to have people going at me and going at me and going at me and going at me and going at me, and you don't get even a slip up, not one. So there sure as shit is there's no hint. Why would there be? Because once you're gone, I get back what you took, and I'll never be broke again. I get my privacy back. I'm not going to be threatened and harassed all the time. And you're gone. You're fucking gone. The weirdo's gone. The imposition and the burden and the criminal bullshit is gone. The whack job is gone. And we finally can have a normal life again. And we can finally have a day you don't ruin. You know, you're a burden. We all want gone. And all you guys that sit around and have your little meetings trying to figure out how to make me fail, why don't you, instead of going behind my back to have your little meetings, come to my face and make those threats to my face, okay? You want to ruin my life? We're going to take her car. We're going to starve her into a lie. We're going to intimidate and coerce and intimidate and coerce and intimidate and coerce. And you get caught over and over and over because you're pissing off the wrong people. 50,000 emails representing 50,000 recordings of you trying to cause a problem for me, princess. You're a girl. Charles, you're a girl to me. You're pathetic. You embarrass everybody, and you don't know that, do you? You're proving our shrink right. She truly believes you're legit mentally retarded. You never respond right to what's said. It's like you don't know. You don't understand it. We're talking above your head. Is that true? I mean, you have the opportunity to prove her right or wrong. It's embarrassing. You're embarrassing everybody. Why aren't you embarrassed? I asked her that. Why is he not embarrassed by the weirdo, creepy shit he does in his cruelty? She said he doesn't know he should be. I believe him to be mentally retarded. He may even have like Alzheimer's or senile dementia or aphasia or something. We think you have Huntington's. Did somebody say that? You have Huntington's disease. It makes you paranoid and it makes you delusional. Like John Hinckley Jr. Watches TV, watches Jodie Foster on TV and thinks that's a date. It's not a fucking date. It's criminal activity. For her, she's being paid. She's an actress. I'm not being paid But when you're gone, I will be, and I won't ever be broke again, and I won't have to lie. So what is it you think you're proving? 13 years into this, there's not going to be a date with you ever. There's never been a date. There's been nothing. You're a true wackadoo. Nothing. You're imagining a soap opera that's not real. You look like a buffoon. You're embarrassing everybody. You're just too stupid to be embarrassed by it too. And you get told on and told on and told on and told on the more you do to me. It's so easy, it's not even fair. So I'm not dropping hints for you. If you went into a strip club for 6 years, you had your people going in there, and I'd even slip up, so you don't know who these guys are helping me or how they get information from you to me. They get it. It's not up to you. We control that. You've never controlled it. You don't have that kind of power. You don't have it, princess. If you're a grown-ass man, you don't play with dolls and unicorns and sit around watching TV all day pretending. You act like a fucking grown-ass man. You get off your ass and you go work. You go be normal. And you can't. You don't have that kind of power, do you? You can't control yourself, do you? Can you? You're pathetic and you're weak. You're stupid and delusional. And that's the best you can do. You'll never be Jody Arrington, Congressman Jody Arrington, on Fox News talking about his work. Because you don't work. He doesn't need a cover-up. You do. You're demanding a lie. He's not. Can you not see the results of what you're doing? Are you that stupid? Is our shrink right? Is she right? Listen, I don't have the ability. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. My strength is not in dealing with mentally ill people. But I'm going to catch a bad guy. I'm good at that. I've done what nobody else has. I do have help, though. We've done what no one else has done, Muffin Man. When you play Rumpelstiltskin and Hansel and Gretel and Ratatouille and Carrot and the Stick and won't she take the yellow brick road? We a bunch of country bumpkin hillbillies, stupids. We didn't know the Civil War meant the end of slavery. Get the hay out of your mouth and talk right. Mr. Powell, let me finish the fucking disclaimer. I apply the but for in the reasonable, prudent individual standard. These are to document your crime. They're already used in court to get wiretap orders or whatever it is they get. I'm not told that. I assert all constitutional rights. I shouldn't have to assert them. I just have them. Fucktard. But since it's you, I gotta say it. Right? Use allegedly or whatever blah blah you want me to say. So, Mr. Powell, I guess, said she's ingratiated herself to cops. Mr. Powell, that is bullshit, and you know it. The cops helping me are just smarter than you. You should have figured out the crime, and you didn't, so we did. We did it for you. That's often what happens, is when you fail at your job, somebody else will do it right. They'll do it for you. But you have some very bad people doing very bad things, and everybody's sick of it. Charles, everybody's sick of you. No one asks you what you think. We're tired of hearing it, creepy. How'd you guys meet? You got a creepy guy chat room going or something? And so now you've formed Creepy Guy Corporation, and you just can't control yourselves, and then you get told on, and you can't figure out, how'd she find out? How'd she know about that? Because you pissed everybody off. People don't like weirdos like y'all. They don't like, even prisoners get beat up. Even prisoners are repulsed by bitch sex offenders like you that can't control themselves and hurt women and hurt kids. And that's all you guys do all day. And we're the ones catching you, so you sit around on your fat, lazy asses trying to make me fail. It's pathetic. How many Creepy Guy Club members sit in a meeting and try to make Cynthia fail? Why don't you come threaten me to my face? Stop being coward pussies. Why don't you come fucking threaten me to my face? Huh? You get in my Dasher app and, here's the thing. I signed up for Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, and two others actually. I'm not going to say what they were. So unless you're a peeping Tom, you can't know when I'm at home or when I'm out. Whether it be at the grocery or DoorDashing or doing Uber Eats or Grubhub, whichever one on any given day I choose to work for. And you can't know which one, what part of town I'm working in either, can you? Without hacking, Peep, all this illegal shit you do. Invading my privacy. It's sick that you do that. You try to starve me into a lie, right? We've said it over and over and over and over. So I guess somebody noticed all the upside down orders of the other night, one right after the other. I made $20. You decided I'd made enough. So you decided to steal from me, right? Hacking my phone. One right after the other from Chick-fil-A. The guy goes, this is weird. All of these, there's 15 of them. One right after the other. Upside down, where she's not going to make shit. She's got to decline these orders. And they're all from Chick-fil-A. And she's already said she knew Chick-fil-A works for Perry. Right? Chick-fil-A? Wow, you guys are in some trouble. So are you, Calvin, and whoever does that. So, you caught somebody else's attention on that. This is weird. Right? Okay, so also of Clarice that's very similar to me. Here we have a sex pervert. This guy, they said, has a hillbilly drug treatment program. So here it's similar to you that it's hillbilly. It's a hillbilly sex weirdo. So what he's done is he's saying he's helping women who are on drugs get off the drugs. So he's got about 4 or 5 women living there with him with their kids. And he did help them get off drugs, but he's also pimping them out. The sheriff in the town is sending him Johns, he said. And he's paying off all these guys not to put him in jail for running a prostitution ring. Right? Okay, but then she gets it. She catches it. She catches this bad guy. Watch this. This is you, Perry. He's not helping these women, nor are you. He told me, Perry actually said that to me once. I have about 10 to 15 divorcees that Jacqueline lets me help. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why you just told me that. I'm not one of them. I didn't ask you about it. You volunteered this up out of the blue, random. Has nothing to do with me. Why are you telling me that? See, you get these guys, like the guy said, sad little maniacs, bizarre or whatever. They need the credit for their crime. They need it. They're conducting criminal activity, and they want to have the credit for it. Look what BTK did. He's taunting the police. He's murdering families, binding, torturing, killing, and then he goes and rubs one out in another room. It's a sex crime, right? He's got a sex weirdo problem he cannot control. He's powerless, impotent, and weak. It controls him. So he's murdering people. He's a serial killer. 3 or more, the FBI says, is serial killing. I'm talking, Mr. Powell, about crime causation. It's not lewd and lascivious. I didn't ingratiate myself to shit. You're just stupid. You need to start keeping up with us. We're not going to slow down for you. If you can't do your job right and enforce the law properly, somebody else will do it for you. That's what's happening, sir. Nothing else. You need to keep up. It's embarrassing how slow you guys are. So, you're covering up some very serious crime. There is a dead police officer. And a framed almost dead police officer because you failed. There's about 10 people in that line with you that have really upset other people. Nobody likes to watch. There's a lack of empathy, which we've exploited, by the way. You have no empathy. What kind of monster are you that you would say something? She's ingratiated herself to police. Fuck you. You have no idea what you're talking about. You better start figuring it out, though, because you might end up in prison right next to Charles. And guess what? Even prisoners are repulsed like bitches like you, Cyril Weck said, and you might get the shit beat out of you because of it. I'm not telling you that because I'm threatening you. I'm telling you that could happen, and you need to right now rethink what you just said. Rethink it. This is a serious matter. There are people dying. If you're pro-life, Charles, shut up. No one cares what you think. You were not asked. Get out of my computer. He types in my computer when I'm doing these like he thinks I care what he thinks. But for peeping and hacking, you couldn't know I'm recording this. It's not live. Mr. Perry, you're gross. Stop. You're never going to get a date with me. You get told on. Look at your results. Dipshit. For 13 years, there's no date ever. There's not going to be a date ever. You're told on, though, a lot. 50,000 down. What part of 50,000 times you're recorded trying to hurt me makes you think you're going to get a date? What day are they going to bang your door down and you're done? You're gone. You know? You can't even figure out who it is. You've been looking to buy the recordings. Nobody's selling them, are they? You know what our guy said? I don't want his money. We don't want his money to give him those recordings so he can continue to rape and rob women and kids and kill cops. That money is going to go to Mike and Cynthia and the other victims. Mike and Cynthia are at the top of the list because they put in a lot of sacrifice and hard work for this. Right? We're top of the list when they take all your shit, seize all your assets, and you're done. And all that stuff goes to the victims. Okay? So, you act like you don't know what's happening. I don't know what you're trying to prove. He's typing on my phone. I'm not gonna stop. Wow. Thanks for ruining a otherwise perfectly great day. So, when people are dying, Mr. Powell, and you stand up and with a straight face say that you're pro-life, we have a really hard time taking you seriously. I hope you know that. This guy right here is like Charles. He's pimping people out. He's pimping out women and kids. Selling us on the dark web. I've already said what the witness said. I'm not going to repeat myself. Everybody's getting tired of me having to repeat myself. But you cannot say you're pro-life and you do everything you can do to cover up a crime that ends the life of a cop. I don't think you're pro-life. I think you're full of shit, Mr. Powell. I'm not ingratiating myself to anybody. What happens is those cops are smarter than you. That's all there is to it. They're looking at the facts. They know they're investigating you. They got a lot of evidence against you. They know more about it than you do. And you didn't take the time to look. Mr. Perry can't identify the activities of a real-life date in a love life. He can't identify his legislative duties or even what state he legislates in. And you're not pro-life if you kill a cop or do something negligent to get a cop killed. Okay? You need to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
Watch TV? Yes, John. Playing a lot of stories about you. They can't get enough.
What the hell is she doing?
She's telling us where she is.
You pull her out now.
I can't. Her HT's off. Let's go back. You have a line of sight? Negative. No visual.
I can picture you sitting here, relaxing at night.
You thinking about me?
You remind me of someone. My father. My daddy. He was a sheriff.
The sheriff? You must have adored him.
You bet I did. He died before I left home for good. Now he used to take me for root beer floats. I'm a soda jerk who made them. He was not a kind man. I wonder why I chose to be around kids.
That's why I chose to be around kids.
Maybe. Hadn't thought of that. There was just one time we found this neighbor boy crying because of the soda jerk's meanness. If there's one thing my daddy couldn't stand, it was someone who picked on folks weaker than them. I told the boy to come inside with that.
You're picking on women and children for a thrill. And you think that makes you tough guy? Do you feel tough guy when you jam up my apps and I can't make money and eat? You feel tough guy, Perry, when you call somebody that owes me money and tell them not to give it to me? Does that make you feel tough guy? Does that make it better that you're impotent and weak and pathetic? Huh? Why don't you do it to my face? Why don't you do it to my face, coward?
And when my daddy, sheriff, walked into that store, soda jerk coward, he got small.
How did that make you feel? Seeing the power your daddy had?
was intoxicating. No, I didn't have that word at the time. How does it feel when your people, your women, give themselves over to you?
It feels intoxicating. I understand you, Daddy. I have dedicated my life to helping.
You don't have any women giving themselves over to you, Mr. Perry. For 13 years, you are a rejected failure. Too stupid to figure out how to move on. You don't know how to get women to like you. You're alone, you're rejected, and you're told on. And that is real. I think that you're so detached from reality, you don't know what the fuck is real and what the fuck isn't. What's reality, what's imagination. But you just look pathetic. What I was saying about BTK is he needed the attention and the credit for his crime to feel important and relevant. Otherwise, he's just a small, boring nothing, right? Just a pathetic nobody. And you're worse. You're small town, you're small time, you're hillbilly, you're pathetic, and you're nothing. So you have to get credit for your crime or you don't matter, correct? He's taunting the police, writing them letters because he wanted credit. He wanted to be caught. If he's not caught and he did outsmart police for 30 years. You haven't even done that. You have to buy your way out. You're not outsmarting anybody. You've been caught more than ever, and you get caught and you have to buy your way out. You can't even keep up with your serial killer peers. You can't even do that. You're that pathetic. You're that stupid. So these guys do this crime, and they start taunting, and they start fucking with you because they need the credit for their crime, or they don't matter. They're not relevant. Right, Mr. Perry, Muffin Man? Right? So it's not so bad that you get caught. If you didn't like it, you'd stop fucking with me. Because every time you fuck with me, you get caught. 50,000 recordings is a lot of recordings, sir, that nobody's going to sell you. So listen to this. Other men in my life have power to get the Fabian puzzle to me in jail. To tell me every time you try to take my car. To tell me you wanted my ringtone and you were trying to frame me for a murder. You needed my shoe print. You needed the girl that actually did it to change her hair color to match my hair. And you wanted me to tan. Because, did you put her on a diet too? I hear the witnesses said she's quite a bit heavier than Cynthia. Recording after recording after recording after recording and never a date. Just hold on. Right? So, you're just nothing still. I matter, you don't.
Girls, it makes me feel, like your daddy felt, I guess.
You're not getting it. You're the soda jerk.
I know. Jeez.
Other men remind me of my daddy, Sheriff Rowan. He has that kind of walk, that kind of power. He'll use it to hurt you, to punish you.
You can't hurt me. Ain't nothing without me.
He's the lawman. He has the walk.
Beats me, Johns. I pay him. He's my bitch.
Come on, look at it. Everyone says that Rowan is the big dog. The locals say it. Hell, Magistrate Cotton says it.
Because Rowan needs to believe that. I let him believe that. All those nitwits down in government, Jefferson Cotton, Gary.
Gary, wait, which one's he?
The whole damn courthouse, girl. I'm the big dog. They're mine. You don't talk when I am talking.
She did it. Did she just... She got every crook in the courthouse.
And whatever.
You see that, Perry? McNamara email? We got people speculating if you didn't know what the fuck that email means. You either, Matt. They knew she had that. They did it anyway. They're still trying to do it. This got to me right there when you did carry out this. This is a threat of false arrest. Months before you actually did it, I'm telling people, he's threatening me with death and false arrest. He wants to coerce a lie. So then you carried it out. And I got that by men in my life who have power. Power, by the way, is in service, ending the suffering you're causing with your crime. You need the attention, or you wouldn't continue to do the same thing every day that gets you told on and caught and rejected. No real love life. You're watching TV like a little kid pretending. You can't tell the difference between fact and fiction, right? 10 to 15. Here, I need you guys to leave her alone so I can rule out provoking. You're provoking her. You're trying to entrap her. She's got an email called the harassment email. We're going to send her home. Look at the dates on that. 2017. Mr. Powley, there's a lot you don't know. I didn't ingratiate myself to shit. I just worked with people smarter than you. So this one, we're going to send her home, harass the hell out of her, wreck her car, get her kicked out of her house, take her money, try to starve her to death. Carrot and the stick approach. And when she complains about it, we'll claim she's harassing us. We'll lie. And you did it. So you can't say there was no plan. You did do it. Right? In Judge Cummings' court. This, I believe, was Lucky or Mike. They kept calling us. Matt Powell won't leave us the fuck alone. What's her whereabouts? We need her address. Can you give me her address? All the fucking time, Mr. Powell. It's enough already. Give it a rest. I left. There's a whole lot, sir, you don't know. You ought to be able to tell that by now, though. 50,000 recordings of you guys trying to hurt me. Who has them? What day will they bang your door down, Mr. Powell? And you're done. We're done. We don't have to put up with this anymore. Because what you're doing is crime. I left. I moved from Lubbock to not have to deal with this shit. Twice. Didn't move once, sir. I moved twice. My son and I are victims of exploitation. So when you guys are all bunched up and they finally put you in jail and they start selling off your assets, we get that money. So yeah, those tapes aren't for sale, Mr. Perry. That's what my guy said. He wants us to sell the recordings that we've worked a long time to get. He wants us to sell them. We don't want that money. We want you and Mike to have it. And your kid, Dennis and John, your kids. They're hurting children. So your empathy, you don't have any. And everyone else does. Yep, it's a weakness we've exploited. You knew I had that. Right? Didn't that go to David on the 1st? And then you did it on the 29th? Exactly what that says. And exactly what that says. And so people are starting to wonder about your mental status, Mr. Perry. We think he doesn't understand the significance of those two documents. Or the harassment emails. It's like he doesn't understand what that means. That she has that. So I'm thinking that he might be actually mentally retarded. For real. This is evidence of premeditation of what you did to Lucky and Mike. You premeditated it. And you coaxed them to Pensacola so you could do what you did. And you've been trying to coax me to Texas forever. And I don't want to go. I don't want to go to Texas. I'm not a child. I'm 53. I'm like 2-3 years away from qualifying from the little old lady discount at Golden Corral. Not that I eat at Golden Corral. I don't. But if I did, I could get that discount in a couple of years. It's like 55, I think. Point out for me the marks on Officer Neely that looked like he was in a fight. I told you a long time ago, get him home, give my money back, and get the fuck out of my life. Get Sensations full of paying customers. And that was not extortion. That was in response to your byline money. I don't want your byline money. I want you to give back what you took that belongs to me, legit, and go the fuck away and get him home. And you didn't. And now you got reporters going, well, now we know they killed Chief Miller. There's a thing called showing consciousness of guilt. Had they done what she said, put one of the meth guys that were involved in that bust that Lucky did a few months before his death, there's no link to them, there's no link to her, there's no link to anything. She's doing good, no evidence of coercion. They helped Mike get home. So, what? No reason to believe they did that. But that's not what they did. They're stupid. criminals often are stupid. There's actual research that shows criminals are stupid. Low IQ and no impulse control. Can't control yourself. Can't control shit. We control your leaks, always have. The McNamara email, sir, was 7 years ago. So, Mr. Powell, are you mentally retarded as well? Do you not understand the significance of the McNamara email or that text? It was sent out before. People are starting to wonder about you, both of you, all of you. It's like they don't understand what that means. They knew she had it, they did it anyway. And they act like they don't know what that means. Guess what else I had, Mr. Powell? Mike was drugged. Here's the arrest report, Mr. Powell. He doesn't have an injury. He just took my police report on car vandalism. Right after Perry got recorded talking about taking my car. Specific threats. These aren't vague. I'm not being vague here. He's going to hurt me. I'm saying exactly how he intends to hurt me. And he was recorded talking about how he was going to hurt me. Charles, who's Mary Beth and Monique? To you. Who's Calvin to you? Who's the Muffin Man to you? Why didn't you start explaining that? Where are you spending all your time? Huh? I control your time if your time is spent all day trying to ruin me and ruin my day and fuck with everything I try to do and bother me and bother me and bother me and bother me. And you must want to get caught because you keep going right back to it. You need credit for your crime. Is that what's going on here? Or do you just get some sick thrill making everybody mad at you? What about you, Calvin? What's your criminology, mindset? What drives you? What drives you? You like fucking with women and kids to feel tough? Do you feel tough when you bother women and kids? See, men fight with men. They don't pick on women and children unless they're weak, coward pussies. So say one more time how you're going to put me under a bridge and starve me to death. Do it. But say it to my face, Calvin. If I won't lie for you, you're going to starve me until I lie. Say it to my face, sir. You're a coward. Saying it behind my back. Why don't you be a man? Why don't you be a man? You're embarrassing people. This was my witness thingy. Only I didn't get to testify for Mike. So that's called concealment of a material fact. From the jury, that would have changed the outcome, and everybody knows it would have. When you hear her podcast, know why. 4 court proceedings, Perry won't let her in. Yeah, well, the only one that matters is the one that has all the recordings, Mr. Perry, Mr. Powell, no, Calvin. The other ones don't matter. The other ones you guys have fucked up for me. It's just more evidence to get a conviction and an indictment against you. See, you don't know what the fuck you're dealing with, do you? Nobody else has that. Mike was drugged. I said it before. It was confirmed in depositions. How did I know? How did we find that out, Mr. Perry? How did we get that, Mr. Perry? Months before you then did it. 5 times in 3 years. Calvin, that's the point. We're going to poison her. We're going to kill her. There's the false arrest. January 29. False reporting over a political vendetta that was imagined because there's no evidence of it. There's no rant. When I'm pissed, you're going to know it. Can you not tell by my podcast if I'm mad, you're going to hear about it? I don't care who the fuck you are. I'll tell you. If I'm mad, you're going to hear it. So where are my crazy rants over a political vendetta, Mr. Perry? That predate the Facebook messages of 2011 to all my friends going, he's creeping up behind my house. He's a creepy guy. He's a stalker. Where are those? There's not any. There's not any in 13 years because I don't give... You don't matter. You have one of the smallest districts in one state. You're a podunk, small town nothing. So any of you tell me, which ones of you are wringing your hands over the decisions or the positions of a politician who's in this small town nobody elected official in a state where you don't live? Right? I didn't give a shit when you were there. Perry, you guys act like I just have spent all my life being a nothing in a strip club. You act like you don't know that I had spent my whole life actually until Perry started fucking with me and ruining my business. Like I didn't just walk out of Harry Reid's office. Or John Anson's office. Spent all my life in politics. My family was the power in the town where I grew up. You don't even have any idea what that's like. You know, everything's different. If you're a cop right now listening to this, let me tell you something about your kids. It's not that easy being a kid of a cop. If you're Chief Franklin, it's even harder for his kids. You're held to a higher standard. There's expectations put on you that you didn't ask for. Because you're the chief of police's kid or granddaughter or grandson. So people expect things of you they don't expect of everybody else. I grew up like that. You don't know what that's like, do you? You're supposed to live up to the expectations everyone else puts on you. And that goes for all cops, but more so for the chief. So my granddad was the chief in the town where I grew up, Charles. You don't know what that's like. You don't have any idea. More so because he was honored in that chief. The police station is named after him in his honor. T. Thompson, L.M. Hall, Law Enforcement Center. The people that were at his house were Judge McLemore and Judge Thompson. Thompson was a chief, and then he became a judge. McLemore was a cop, and then he became a judge. So I lived with that all my life. They were that before I was born. You don't know anything what that's like. But guess what else that does? It puts some protections around me you can't get to. You won't get to it. It's getting to you. We have all this. I had that before you did it. You son of a bitch. That one too. Kick her out of her house. Before you tried to do it. A few weeks later, after this judge said leave her alone so I can rule out entrapment. That's what this is, dumbass. You provoked. So the only courtroom, Mr. Powell, that matters is where this was played. To get probable cause for you don't know what. Maybe a wiretap on the landlord's phone. Maybe that's how we got some more. How many people have you gotten kicked out of their home? The guy said. A year later when you tried it again and did it. Do you think people that care about me, that have that kind of power, think it's cute where I'm living right now? They think it's cute every time I go home with no money because you fucked with my apps? Or do you think it's cute when they watch you call, have your people call in so you can get me on the doorbell camera or something? You think those people think you're cute when you do this to my car? Mr. Powell, you think those guys think it's cute that you said she's ingratiated herself to police? They've known me most of my adult life. They don't like you at all. And they can do shit like get this information. You think they think it's cute that Mr. Perry rapes me in the privacy of my home every day? Yeah, Mr. Perry needs attention. He can't get it any other way. He wants credit for his crime, just like BTK did. BTK wrote letters to police from the church's typewriter or computer or whatever. Isn't that how they caught him? Yeah. Do you think that part of him wanted to be caught? Or why would you do something like that? He thought, he's taunting. Why are you going to taunt police if you don't want police to catch you so you get credit for your crime? If nobody knows, it doesn't matter, does it? Right? Look at that, Mr. Powell. 50,000 of those, sir. She's ingratiated herself to cops. You know how many times you've been recorded calling around asking for my address? Wow, that pissed everybody off. I left. I moved. I don't want to deal with you people. My job was done. My job was to get Perry elected, and that was it. He turned this into the weirdo thing that it is now. He's a weirdo. Look at all this. This goes way back. I mean, recording after recording after recording. He's told on and told on and told on and told on. Every time he contacts me, every minute he evades my privacy, hacks, or peeps. Every time he causes any kind of loss at all. In 1 minute of my time, 1 penny of my money. We get more of these because you make everybody mad. Okay, Calvin? Come threaten me to my face, sir. See how that works out for you. I didn't pick a fight with you. I came here to get away from one. I came here to be with my family and not have conflict, not have strife, not lose anything, not fight, nothing. So you're picking the fight. You're picking the fight with people that can get shit like that. She's not going to take the yellow brick road. Can we not get her back on that pole and on a schedule? Can we not get her to the car dealership? Oh, isn't it you, Calvin? Are you the one that does that? Why won't she order from Chipotle? Right? Is that you? Who is that? Who's the Muffin Man? So this is what the guy was pointing out. She's got all kinds of upside down orders, one right after the other. They wanted her to not make any more money for the night. She got $20. Wow. Wow, that's not how you get a date. That's why you're alone. Nobody wants you. You're not wanted. You're a wannabe. But you're never the wanted one. And because you guys do shit like this, and you bother me. And when he pesters her and takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've never seen before. We keep getting quoted. Who has those recordings? Charles is asking for it. Just so you know, when he contacts me, when my privacy is invaded in any way, shape, or form, hack or peep, poking, peeping, pink panty, pathetic Perry, your guy calls you. That's your Houston guy calls you that. He was disgusted with you. When he calls every day Mike's in jail, we all know Mike didn't kill anybody. He was almost killed himself. We know that. You prove it every day you go at me. It's witness tampering. You don't tamper with a witness that's telling a lie. You only tamper with somebody that's telling the truth and you want to change their story. Mr. Perry, listen to the words I'm saying. No one cares what you think. No one's going to help you. There's no hints. Your delusion is embarrassing to everyone else. It's very embarrassing to everyone else. You really need to shut up. We're all tired of hearing it. Everyone's sick of you. Everyone is sick of hearing what you think. Everyone is sick of hearing you ask questions that have already been answered over and over and over and over. I'm not told who your leaks are, and I wouldn't help you if I was, because we all want you gone. I want my privacy back, not you. We all want you gone. You and your dolly. You and your unicorn. We want you gone. No one's going to help you. It's been 13 years of the same thing, and you can't tell that by now. You can't tell. You think you have when you're told, leave me alone. And you've got 50,000 recordings of you trying to commit a crime that are used in court already to get more investigatory orders. They can get all of you. They're going to get all of you. What day is that going to be? You think you have a choice? It speaks to your delusion and that you probably are mentally retarded if you think you have a choice after all that. So, I want back what you took, not you. We're all sick of you. You're a burden we want gone. There's never going to be a date. Not with me. You're about to get a date with dudes in jail. Maybe that's what you're after. So, this guy's commenting, like, you notice all these upside down orders? So you can't make any money unless it's about $1.50 a mile because you spend gas and time. It's not profitable. So normally you decline. I have to decline these. Last week or week before last, it was 7 hours I spent declining orders that you sent that were like that because you hacked my app. And the guy was like, you notice most of these are Chick-fil-A? One right after the other. She can't do. There's no money in it. One right after the other. I dare you to do it one more time. Do it one more time. Next time I work for DoorDash, do it again. Get my picture one more time. Because our guys talk to DoorDash too. It's all algorithm. You can't get her picture. You can't get your guys to call in and they get her as a delivery person so that they can take her picture on the fucking app, doorbell camera, unless he's hacking her. There's no other way. And hacking is a crime. Stalking is a crime. Peeping is a crime. You can't, for all you know, I'm sitting at home watching TV or at the spa. You can't know where I am. And one guy, you wanted to pull me over right after I start testifying for Mike. I'm supposed to testify for him. You won't let me testify, so I filed 2 motions to intervene. There should have been a hearing to see if I had standing to file said motions, and there wasn't. You flagged off reporters who have law degrees. Wow, something's wrong. It's a wrongful conviction. She's telling the truth, or she wouldn't be broke. There wouldn't be evidence of coercion and witness tampering. And there would have been a fair hearing for Mr. Neely and her. And there's none of that in 4 of these now. Had they done what she said, give it fucking back and get the fuck out. There's no evidence she's doing bad. She's doing good. Mike's home. They helped him get home. There's no reason to think they did that murder. But that's not what they did. They did the opposite. So now we know they killed Chief Miller. She's broke. Mike's still in jail. Nothing's been fair. She's not been in even one court proceeding that was done fairly where she's able to show her evidence and put witnesses up and question Perry on the stand. Yep, he will shit himself if that happens. He will shit himself. And he knows that. That's why he hides behind a fucking TV and a fucking computer. He's pathetic and he's coward, not powerful. So, these guys, that's what she said. They look guilty. Everything they do says I'm guilty of murder in the first degree of a cop. Tends to piss off other cops. Right? Ingratiated myself, Matt. I think it's just that you're dealing with people a lot smarter than you are. It didn't take any ingratiating. And these guys that helped me have known me most of my adult life. This flagged somebody else. It's all Chick-fil-A. One right after the other. 15 of these. And they say they're not taking our money. I promise you they are. Look at that. There's evidence right there. They're taking our money. That's why she couldn't finish the appeal. You intentionally impeded my appeal. You were recorded talking about it, and I said that. And then the next day you called my landlord and said you were recorded. We got the appeal kick her out. And he said, I thought that this was going to be okay. We had her sign another lease. You're right now interfering with the contract. Making it where she can't fulfill the terms. So, you want to coerce? How many people have you done this to? He said. You're going to deny that. Okay, but guess what? The only court that matters is the one that has that recording. So, do what you do, princess. But you're not ever going to get dick with me. I don't like you. I want what you took back. I don't want you. It'll never be you. You're just a pathetic butt in nothing. You're a wannabe, never the one wanted. So you keep doing the same thing that gets you caught. Which, you know what that tells me? Either you get a thrill just fucking with people, and you have no control over yourself, your sick little urges, and you're impotent and weak and pathetic, or you need credit for your crime. Otherwise, you're just a bizarre, boring little accountant from small town nothing. You don't matter. And you want to be notorious like BTK. Right? Just be careful. Because as Dr. Weck said, even prisoners are repulsed by sex offenders like you. And guys like you tend to get beat the fuck up in jail. So watch what you wish for. Okay? You don't know what day they're going to come beating down your door. But we have things nobody else has. The guys that got me the Fabian puzzle, Mr. Perry, and all those recordings, nobody else has. Muffin Man, Rumpelstiltskin, Hansel and Gretel, your little daycare code words. They're stopping you. They're doing it for you. Because you can't be a big boy and behave and be normal by yourself. You have no control. We control. I'm controlling your day. Every minute of your time is spent trying to fuck me up and ruin my life. You don't get a date doing that. You get told on. You're getting told on and told on and told on. You don't know what part of the information that we get is obtained from wiretaps, wiretap orders, and what's leaks, do you? I'm not even told that. But everybody hates you. So when we say stop or they'll do it for you, the same way they get all this stuff from you to me, or they got that puzzle to me in jail right up under your nose and it wasn't up to you, what part of that are you having a hard time understanding? What are you trying to prove? That you're just really, really stupid? You like fucking with the wrong people? Or that are you trying to tell us you want credit for your crime? Which one is it? We're not going to speak to your intent. You speak to it. I don't like you. I'm never going to go on a date with you. You don't matter to me. You're a job. And everyone knows that. Now, speaking of that, the Tulsa police officer that called the lady a cuckoo bird, I'm sorry, but I'm on her side. I am. If you think I'm a bad person because I'm on her side, fine. I don't think she's the one to blame here. I think that there are people that are gifted in dealing with people with special needs and mental illness and so forth. I did have patients with Down syndrome, Mr. Perry. I did great with them. They didn't act like you. They weren't hurting people. So there's a very big difference between somebody who's mentally ill or mentally disabled and they're not hurting everybody else, or people that are causing devastating loss. And that lady was allowed to wallow on the floor for 4 hours before police were called. And that was the inhumane thing to do to her. That was the problem. That was the person you blame. And if it's me, if there's a trial there, first of all, I don't think citizens should have to pay the bill for what some dumbass business owner did. It's his problem. I mean, I'd get a list of times during that 4 hour period and put it before the business owner on the stand and say, during this 4 hour period of time, crisis management was available here, 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 and here. Did you call? Nope. The jury wants somebody to blame. Give them someone to blame. Give them the right person to blame. Not officer, I'm frustrated right now because this person won't cooperate, and I'm going to let off some frustration. Maybe get the guy that was inhumane. She did get the woman out of that room, did she not? As soon as she gets into the police car, she's going to get help, isn't she? So the officer did her job. She helped the woman get some help, did she not? She called her a cuckoo bird. And so what? Who? You know who's to blame? The monster that left her wallowing in the bathroom floor for 4 hours. That's who you blame. That's who you put on the stand. That's who you let the jury hate. That's who I hate. I'm a citizen. I'm a taxpayer. I have to foot the bill for that lawsuit. I'm just saying. Some people are very, very gifted in dealing with that. Those folks were unavailable. When you put the list before the business owner who failed to fucking make a phone call for 4 hours of here's the times, the people who are gifted in dealing with mentally ill or mentally disabled folk, here's when they were available in that 4 hour period of time. When did you call? Right? 4 hours. You let that woman suffer in the bathroom needlessly, and you didn't help her. And if I'm a cop, I'm citing that one. I'm citing that bitch that did that to her. The officer that called her a cuckoo bird actually did get her help. Did she not? So how is she to blame? I'm not blaming her. I'm on her side. I'm blaming the asshole that let her lay on the floor for 4 hours. That's just that's all I'm going to say. Some people are very, very gifted in dealing with that. Some people aren't. We all have a gift. We're all gifted in something. So the people that should have been called that day were those that have that gift and are trained. And they weren't. For 4 hours. The officer that called her a cuckoo bird did get her help. Did she not? I'm just saying. So there's that. Mr. Perry, you need help. Mr. Warman, you are probably going to go to jail with your client because you're not getting him help. And other people are suffering and suffering and suffering and suffering. Our guys have a very big case. Huge. It's huge. So if you can't step up and do your part, make a phone call. Somebody told Mr. Perry at some point, you better be glad she said no to you. You are stupid. And you got Alzheimer's or something, and you'd leave something incriminating laying around, and she'd find it and have you locked up in 24 hours. You don't fuck with this one. This one's different. And I can't disagree. I would. If you were a family member to me, which you're not, you're nothing to me, you're a job, and I had that close access to your crazy and the legal authority to sign you over to a nursing home, you'd be in a nursing home. Because you are presenting a danger to yourself and other people, and you don't have that right. We can't get Lucky Miller back. We can get Mike home, and we will, and we were working on that. And you guys, in the meantime, continue to prove our case for us. It's so easy. It's not even fair. What I asked you to do is leave me the fuck alone. It doesn't cost any amount of money or time to leave everybody the fuck alone. Charles Perry's not going to get a date with me ever. He repulses me. He disgusts me. He's a peeping Tom, and that's a turnoff. If there were nothing else, there's that. So whatever bullshit he has sat around telling himself all day and then goes around and tells other people, see it as bullshit. He's delusional. He's not all there. His elevator can't go to the top. There's no hints. If I went into a strip club for 6 years and there was no slip-ups, there was nothing. What makes you think I'm hinting? I mean, you got to be off your nut. 6 years, I didn't slip up at all. Not one slip up. So that would have been an accidental slip up. So what in the fuck kind of delusion, whack job, stupid do you have to be to think that I would on purpose hint at it? I mean, the rest of you need to get a grip on reality as much as Charles Perry does and understand you're dealing with a man who is delusional. He is not able to tell the difference between fact and fiction. He can't do it. He can't understand you when you're talking to him or asking questions. He doesn't know what you're saying. He doesn't respond appropriately. Look at it. You ought to, 13 years into this, you have this, not a date. I mean, come on. So now we think you're all a little bit wacky. Cuckoo bird. So, I mean, I'm tired of this. We're all sick of this. And I've asked you and asked you and asked you to stop it. Get out of my phone. Do not peep, do not hack, do not contact me or my family. Leave us the fuck alone. I'm not going to take byline money. If you would like to pay me back what you owe me before it gets to the point where they sell your assets and just give us shit, we've already worked out a settlement, we've already worked out a deal, and that's it for us. Fine, that's your choice. No one's forcing you to. But what you do have to do is leave me alone. Because it is illegal to hack, it is illegal to peep, it is illegal to stalk, it is illegal to witness tamper, it is illegal to coerce, it is illegal to obstruct justice and destroy evidence. That you do have no choice. And if you look at these and you still think you have a choice, you really do need to be in the nut house. You really are not all there. You don't have a choice. If you don't do it by yourself, they'll do it for you. The same way they get this stuff from you to me, they will do it for you. And you don't know who they are. It's not a celebrity. It's law enforcement. And I've said that. The only court that matters, Mr. Powell, is the court these have been played in to get probable cause to maybe wiretap your phone. They don't tell me who gets wiretaps and all that crap. I'm going to say chances are high you have one on every phone you've got. So that's how I know when you call up here, can we not get her whereabouts? Can we not get her address? It is illegal for them to get my address and give it to you. The state of Oklahoma has a law preventing that. You're a stalker. I moved twice to get away from you people. I didn't want a conflict, sir. My job was to get Perry elected. I did that. That was it. That should have been the end of it. The first time I said, leave me the fuck alone, and he chose not to, then it's stalking, and you are just as bad as him, and you got a cop killed. So, because we understand that you did not know Lucky was going to be murdered before, and you're the only one that didn't. However, when you start trying to cover shit up and intimidate and coerce a witness, now it's accessory after the fact. And you ought to know that. You did not preserve my evidence of attempted murder. You didn't give a shit about me, or my son, or the fact that we just lost our home, did you? You didn't give a fuck about the facts, did you? Because you didn't have evidence of a false report being filed. Nobody collected my evidence to see. You didn't have evidence of a political vendetta. You didn't look into my background. You didn't know anything about me. But I assure you, a little podunk nobody who hadn't been in politics didn't matter to me at all. I just walked out of the office of Harry Reid, Mr. Powell. Believe me when I say not one person in Lubbock has impressed me at all. I lived in Vegas, and you run into famous people in Vegas all the time. What in the fuck? Why did you think you mattered to me? Why would you think you'd impress me after I've been around all that? Lubbock was a job, sir. Lubbock was a job. You got some sick corruption over there. Very, very sick, corrupt people. So I assure you, I'm not impressed with some bitch like you guys. None of you impressed me. Look, Mr. Powell, I grew up in the home of the power in the town. That was my granddad. He was an elected official. Look at this, Mr. Powell. Those are a bunch of elected officials I met long before I moved to Lubbock. Who the fuck do you think you are? Get off your high horse. Why did you care about the women and kids suffering because of Mr. Perry's whack job problem, sex weirdo problem? Why did you care about John Neely, Lisa Neely, the Miller kids? Why did you care about what they're going through? See, we lack empathy. And guess what else it does? It speaks to the monster you are in your character, in the way that you handle the monsters. Right? You don't have empathy? You want to call up here and say I've ingratiated myself to police? Maybe the police are just smarter than you are, and they can see something's wrong here. It wasn't intended to coerce her. Bullshit. Bullshit. So I'm expecting you to do what I've asked you to do and leave me and my family the fuck alone. Nobody's picking a fight with you. Nobody's picking a fight with you. I left. I moved twice. I went through a lot of trouble, Mr. Powell, to get away from all you weirdos in Lubbock. There's about 5 people in Lubbock that I respect as much as I could respect somebody in Lubbock, and I don't know how they stand it there. It's not my cup of tea. So, I mean, I don't know what your problem is that you thought that I would, after living in, After living in a town like Las Vegas, Nevada, where you see famous people all the time, I partied with famous people, Mr. Powell. So why would I be impressed with somebody like you? And, Harry Reid, 3rd most powerful guy in D.C. for a long, long, long time. Why would I be impressed with somebody like you? Or Charles Perry? He's got one of the smallest districts in a state where I don't live. So why would I be impressed with any of you? You tell me. I'd like to know the answer to that. I'm not. I'm not. You're nothing to me. It's a job. It was a job. It was supposed to end once Perry got elected. So, I haven't voted or registered to vote since 2012, so that there could not be any false accusation that there's anything political about this at all. I have not donated to campaigns. I've not worked on any campaigns. I've not done shit, Mr. Powell. Not in it. Hardly watch the news. Once in a while, I'll watch a little bit. I'll watch Jody Arrington talk. I agreed with everything he said. I'm a Republican. I'm a little bit libertarian leaning, but I'm still Republican. If I voted, I don't vote. You guys I completely changed my life. So, what part of, and you didn't collect my evidence, Mr. Powell. You had no intention to go into trial. That whole thing was just to intimidate me. And don't tell me it wasn't. We all know it was. Here's the thing. Everybody else is not stupid. We get it. You can look at the facts. You can look at dates and times and go, wow, that's... And you guys act like everybody's just retarded like y'all. And they're not. And it's irritating. You're insulting people's intelligence. We hear about it all the time. There's a lot of complaints about that. These bitches bullshit. And it just pissed me off and insulted my intelligence. They act like I'm stupid, and I'm not. Brady rule violation, sir. Brady rule violation. Obstructed justice, destroyed my evidence. And I'm pissed about it to this day. And then, because you did that, now we have a dead Lucky and an almost dead framed Mike. And you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. Not in this country. So, I don't know who all Perry bought off. Didn't buy off our guys. There's a reason it's a need to know. You have to be trustworthy or you're not in it. You're not in the need to know. I'm in it. You need to fuck off. You're breaking the law? Stop breaking the law. That's all you've been asked to do. That's the only thing you guys have been asked to do. Stop fucking breaking the law. Charles, you're never going to get a date with me. You're not good enough. You're stupid. You're delusional. You're weird. You're creepy. You're fucked up. You're twisted. You're disgusting to me. You make my skin crawl. You make me want to throw up. You have no chance of a date with me ever. You can't be normal. You gotta be normal to ride this ride, and you have no power to do that. So, with this thing you do, where you gotta impose and burden and rape and rob and ruin, that's not how you get women to like you. You're hated. All of you guys are hated people right now. We don't have any problem getting information. Don't have a problem with it at all. Because everybody wants you to stop it. Alright? You do it by yourselves like big boys, or they'll do it for you. At 50,000, you gotta know, it's not up to you. You don't have a choice. That's a lot of recordings. And it's not even all of them. That's only what pertains to me, and it's only some of them. I don't have time to sit around and type all of it. I don't have time. I have a life. You should try getting one. It keeps you out of trouble. Now, leave me the fuck alone.